حي على الفلاح.
Do not be deceived by that BMW that you may drive. Do not be deceived by that Jaguar or the fat Range Rover that you may have. Do not be deceived by the bungalows that you may live in. Tall, lofty buildings, beautiful houses, the beautiful clothes that you may wear. Do not be deceived by this dunya. Why? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in His glorious book, كُلُّ نَفْسٍ ذَائِقَةُ الْمَوْتِ. Every soul shall taste death. Irrespective of who you are, where you are, how big you may be, every soul will taste death. Everyone has a fixed time. There will not be delay, not even for a zillionth of a second. Thereafter, you will receive your reward in full, good or bad. Every soul shall taste death. This dunya is deceiving. Why? Because everything with this dunya will come to an end, and this dunya will also come to an end. There is only one thing to remain, and that is none other than the Lord of the Arsh and Kursi, the creator of the dunya. Other than this, every single thing will perish. Say, O Muhammad, Qul, tell these people, this death that you're running away from, we really don't believe it. We might not say with our mouths that we don't believe in death. We may acknowledge it, yeah, because we've seen people go before us. So we may say we believe, but our actions are a proof that we don't believe. You see the masajid full on a Friday, you see the masajid full today, you'll see the masajid full on the day of Eid. But the rest of the year, my young friend, tomorrow come Fajr Salah, you will see one or two safs inside this masjid, and the same goes around for every other masjid in this country. When it's time for Salah, we become deaf and blind to the teachings of Allah and His Rasul. When it's time for Zakah, we become deaf and blind to the teachings of Allah and His Rasul. When it's time for Hajj, we become deaf and blind to the teachings of Allah and His Rasul. Our Ahmad are saying that we don't believe in death. We're running away from death. Allah is saying, you tell them, O Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you can run wherever you like. You can go in the depths of the Atlantic, in the total darkness. My friend, you can climb the peak of the Everest. My friend, you can hide in the darkness of the Amazon or the Kalahari bush. When your time comes to an end, wherever you are, they say the Pentagon and Fort Knox are places where no one can penetrate and get through. You can go and hide there. When your time comes to an end, all of a sudden the barrier will be removed from your eyes. You're in the dunya, but now you can see the akhirah, and you will see that angel standing before you wherever you are in any corner of the globe. You cannot escape. Believe or not believe, you will see that angel standing before you. He will get you. Every one of us, we will return to the knower of the seen and the unseen. Every one of us will return to the absolute master. At this moment in time, you may do wrong. Your mother and father won't find out. You probably go all the way to the nightclubs in Luton, making sure that none of your mother or father or any one of your relatives have a clue to what you do. But you know what? He is watching every single thing that you do, and every word that your tongue utters, He knows of it, and He will inform you of every single thing that you've done. The angels recording your deeds, my young friend. You can't hide and you will not get away. The angels recording your deeds, they will inform Him of what you did. And you want to try denying? then my friend, the very earth on which you wronged him, the earth on which you stole, the earth on which you fornicated, the earth on which you lied, the earth on which you went to the nightclub, that earth will begin to say, oh Allah, Abdullah was here on the 29th of December at 10:30. Oh Allah, I saw him, he was here. And if you still try to deny, then my young friends, you say that these body parts are yours. They belong to you. These hands belong to you. This tongue which is speaking at this moment in time, that belongs to you. These legs belong to you. But on that day, my young friend, you will realize that you don't even have control over your own tongue. You have no control over your own hands. You will have no control over your own feet. My friend, even they will not be loyal to you. When you stand before the Lord of the Arsh and Kursi, you're saying to Allah, oh Allah, no, I did not do this wrong. Oh Allah, no, I didn't commit this sin. Your hands, they will begin to speak and say, oh Allah, no, he's lying. He committed this sin. Your feet will begin to speak and your feet will begin to say, no Allah, he did commit this sin. You're trying to say something with your tongue, but you will find that you have no control over your own tongue. And your tongue will bear witness against you and say, oh Allah, indeed Abdullah committed this sin and I'm a witness to this. Abdullah bin Umar radiallahu ta'ala relates, a man came to Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And he asked, Ya Rasulullah, who is the wisest and the most cautious of all men? Is it one who graduates as a doctor? Is it one who becomes a teacher, a mechanic, scientist? Is it a hafiz? Is it an alim? Who is the wisest and cleverest of all men? So Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, the wise man and the clever man is he who suppressed his desires, who controlled his nafs. His nafs was telling him to commit zina, but no, he controlled his nafs. His nafs was telling him to look at a haram woman, but he controlled his nafs. His nafs was telling him to go wine and dine. No, he controlled his nafs for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And he put pressure on his nafs. He would hold himself accountable. He would ponder over the deeds that he's done, good or bad, my friends. And then he would work day and night for the real life, the life that is to come after death, a life which will never end. And as a result, he would fast, he would pray, he would go for Hajj, he would help the poor and needy. Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, he is the wisest of all men. He's realized his purpose in creation. He knows he's only here for a few days. He knows this is only a small journey. He has to get to the akhirah. That is the ultimate abode. That is the real abode. That is the final abode. He makes preparations for the real life. Whilst in the dunya, he is the wisest and cautious of all men. Sayyidina Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu relates, as every day passes, this dunya is coming to an end. For everything there's a fixed time. For everything there's a fixed time. There's a fixed time even for the heavens and the earth. And the akhirah, the next life, the hereafter, is coming closer and closer and closer. Sayyidina Ali radiallahu ta'ala says, O Muslimano, wisen up. Become the sons of the akhirah, those that work for the hereafter, those that strive and sacrifice to acquire the pleasure of Allah and His Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Wisen up, become the sons of the akhirah. Do not become the sons of the dunya. Why? Whilst you're alive at this moment in time and you're breathing, you're in the dunya, you have this opportunity to perform good, to do good. And whilst you're here, my young friend, there is no accountability. Allah will not hold you account to anything. Tomorrow you say to the Lord of the Arsh and Kursi, oh Allah, I beg you, give me another chance. Send me back to that dunya and I will believe. Oh Allah, I will put my head in prostration and I will not get out of prostration till you take my soul from my body. Oh Allah, I will donate in your path. I will help the poor needy. Oh Allah, I beg you, just give me one chance and I will prove it to you and I will show you how good and pious servant I am, an obedient servant I am. My young friends, on that that day. You can beg as much as you like. You can ask as many times as you like. On that day, you will not be given the opportunity to go back in the dunya and prove yourself. You only have one chance. It is up to you. Either from the Ashabul Yameen, either from the Ashabul Shimal, there will be accountability. You will be asked with regards to your salah. You will be asked with regards to your zakah. You will be asked with regards to your youth. When you were strong and you could worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala because you had the strength to do a lot of good deeds, you will be asked, how did you spend your days of youth? We told you what your purpose in creation was. Tell me, what did you do with the 65 years of life that I gave you? With regards to the knowledge that you had, how did you act upon it? Where you got this wealth from? Where did you spend it? My friends, on that day, every single deed that you perform, every word that your tongue uttered, there will be accountability. It doesn't come any simpler than this. And today, all I've come to do is ask you one simple question. What choice will you make? What path will you choose? Will you choose the Ashabul Yameen, the path of those on the right? Or will you choose the Ashabul Shimal, the path of those on the left? Will you be from the sons of the dunya that give preference to the dunya over the akhirah? Or my young friend, will you be the sons of the akhirah? You give preference to Allah and His Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and you give preference to the real life over this life. Simple question, what path will you choose?